Calm, clarity, and decision-making after 60. Why your body affects your choices. When decisions feel heavier than they used to, there's a shift that many people notice, not in what decisions they're making, but in how those decisions feel. Simple choices take longer. Small decisions feel heavier. Clarity doesn't come as easily, and sometimes you second-guess yourself more than you used to. It's subtle, but it's there, and the thought quietly appears. Why does this feel harder now? But here's the truth. It's not just your thinking that's changed. It's your state. Because decision-making is not just mental. It's physiological. Your brain does not make decisions in isolation. It responds to the condition of your body. And after 60, that connection becomes more noticeable. Part 1. What really drives decision-making? We tend to think decisions come from logic, from thinking, from reasoning things out. But beneath that, there's something more powerful guiding the process: your nervous system. Your body is constantly scanning your internal and external environment, asking one quiet question: am I safe or under pressure? And that answer shapes how your brain functions. Two states that shape your thinking. Your body generally operates between two core states: alert, activated; calm, regulated. When your system is activated, your thinking narrows. You become more cautious, more reactive, more doubtful. When your system is calm, your thinking expands. You see options more clearly. You process information more smoothly. You feel more confident in your choices. The brain-body system behind it. This is regulated by your autonomic nervous system, especially the balance between the stress response, the recovery system, and a key player here is the parasympathetic nervous system. When this system is active, your heart rate slows, your breathing steadies, your body relaxes, and your brain, particularly the prefrontal cortex, responsible for decision-making, functions more effectively. This isn't theory, it's biology. Part 2. What changes after 60? This is where things begin to shift. After 60, your body becomes more sensitive to stress, slower to recover from stress, more influenced by internal state. The stress hormone cortisol tends to linger longer in the system, and that matters, because elevated cortisol affects attention, memory, decision-making clarity. At the same time, the brain's ability to switch quickly between tasks can slow slightly. Not dramatically, but enough that, when combined with stress, decision-making can feel heavier. So it's not that your brain is failing, it's that your system is carrying more load. Part 3. Why decisions feel harder. Let's make this real. 1. Your body is slightly elevated without you noticing. Even low-level tension can quietly sit in the background. Tight shoulders, shallow breathing, a slightly elevated heart rate. And that subtle state can reduce focus, increase doubt, make decisions feel more complex. You may think you need to think harder, but the real issue is that your body is not settled. 2. Mental fatigue builds faster. Your brain uses energy to make decisions. In fact, the brain consumes a significant portion of your body's energy, even at rest. Every choice you make uses resources, and this is known as decision fatigue. After a certain point, the quality of your decisions drops, not because you lack intelligence, but because your system is tired. After 60, recovery becomes more important, because once fatigue sets in, clarity fades faster. 3. Overstimulation reduces clarity. Modern life is loud, information, noise, notifications, constant input, and the brain was never designed to process this much, this often. Too much input leads to mental clutter, slower processing, reduced clarity. Especially when your system is already slightly stressed, clarity doesn't come from more input. It comes from space. Part 4. The body-first approach to clarity. This is the shift. Instead of trying to think harder, support your body first, because clarity follows state. When your body settles, your mind follows, not the other way around. This is where many people get stuck. They try to solve mental problems with more thinking, when what they really need is a different state. Part 5. How to create a calm state for clear thinking. Let's make this practical. 1. Slow your breathing. Breathing is one of the fastest ways to influence your nervous system. Slower breathing activates the vagus nerve. This sends a signal to your body. You're safe. And when your body feels safe, your thinking becomes clearer. Even a few minutes of slower breathing can shift your state. 2. Reduce input before making decisions. Clarity needs space. Before making a decision, step away from noise. Pause. Give your mind room to settle. This is not avoidance, it's preparation. 3. Move your body. Movement changes your state. A short walk can improve blood flow to the brain, reduce stress hormones, reset your nervous system. Often, the answer becomes clearer after movement, not during overthinking. 4. Make decisions when you're not depleted. Timing matters more than people think. Avoid making important decisions when you are tired, overwhelmed, emotionally drained. Your brain is not at its best in those moments. Clarity requires energy. 5. Simplify your choices. Too many options create stress. This is sometimes called choice overload. More options do not always mean better decisions. They often mean more confusion. Simplify where you can, because clarity thrives in simplicity. Part 6. The role of emotional state. Your emotions influence your decisions more than logic. If you feel anxious, rushed, pressured, your decisions reflect that state. Your brain is not just analyzing facts, it is interpreting how you feel. This is part of something called interoception, your awareness of internal body signals. When your body feels unsettled, your mind often searches for certainty, and that can lead to overthinking or hesitation. Part 7. What happens when your body is calm? When your system is regulated, everything changes. Thinking becomes clearer, decisions feel lighter. You process information more efficiently. You trust your judgment more. Not because you suddenly became smarter, but because your brain is working in the right conditions. Clarity is not created, it is revealed when the noise settles. Part 8. The truth most people miss. Most people believe, if I just think harder, I'll figure it out. But clarity is not forced, it's allowed, and your body determines whether it's available. A tense body produces tense thinking. A calm body produces clearer thinking. It's that simple and that powerful. Part 9. A different way to approach decisions. Instead of asking, what's the right choice? Ask, what state am I in while making this choice? Am I calm or am I pressured? Am I clear or am I overloaded? That question changes everything because it shifts your focus from the decision to the condition in which the decision is being made. And that is where real control exists. Part 10. Building trust in yourself again. When you consistently make decisions from a calm state, something important happens. You begin to trust yourself again. You second-guess less. You feel more stable, more grounded, more certain. Not because every decision is perfect, but because you trust the process behind it. And that trust builds quietly, over time, through repetition, through awareness, through learning to pause before reacting. Part 11. Why your body sometimes blocks clarity. There are moments when you sit down to make a decision and nothing feels clear. You go over the same options again and again. You think more, you try harder, but the answer doesn't come. And it can feel frustrating because you know you're capable of making this decision, but your mind feels foggy. This is often not a thinking problem, it's a protection response. When your body senses pressure, uncertainty, or even subtle stress, it can shift into a more cautious state. And in that state, your brain becomes more focused on avoiding mistakes than making clear decisions. This is connected to how the brain prioritizes safety, especially in areas like the prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for reasoning and decision-making. When stress is present, that system becomes less efficient, and the brain shifts towards simpler, more protective patterns, which is why you might notice you delay decisions, you overthink small choices, you feel unsure even when the answer is actually simple. This is not a loss of ability. It's your system trying to protect you from making the wrong move. But here's the shift. Clarity doesn't return when you push harder. It returns when your body feels safe enough to choose. Sometimes, the most effective thing you can do is step away from the decision. Not forever, just long enough for your system to settle. Take a walk, sit quietly, breathe. Give your body a signal that there is no immediate threat. And very often, when you come back, the answer feels obvious. Not because you found new information, but because your system is no longer blocking access to it. Your body is part of your thinking. Your mind does not work alone. It works with your body. And after 60, that partnership becomes more important because your clarity is not just about knowledge, it is about condition. When your body is supported, your thinking becomes clearer, your decisions become easier, and your confidence returns. Not by forcing answers, but by creating the right state for them to appear. And in the next episode, we revisit something important: staying relevant after 60, how to keep growing in a changing world. Because staying relevant isn't about chasing every new trend. It's about staying curious, continuing to learn, and having the confidence to adapt without losing who you are. Because growth doesn't end at 60, and your experience still has tremendous value in a changing world. Until then, stay re-inspired.
I hope this video brought you value and re-inspired you. If so, please subscribe, hit like, and leave a comment. And if anybody you know could use a little re-inspiration, please send it to them. Thank you so much for watching.